It is very important to know exactly what a mistake is to you personally, because if you don't even know that you just made a mistake, isn't that the worst of all? Hello there and welcome. It's another freestyle episode on Laraddiji under the umbrella of Living in Peace, and today I'll be talking about the many ways we learn in life. There's a lot of lessons we learn as we live our lives peacefully, and if you're thinking of succeeding in life without making any mistakes, then maybe you're not from this planet. Please let me know where you're from, all right, in the comment section so that you can take me there. Okay, mistakes are not fun, but we do learn from them. Hopefully we don't make big ones before we learn big lessons. Life is all about learning. The only time we stop learning is when we die. I'm sure you've heard that before. So that's very limited time we really have, if you think about it. Everyone makes mistakes in this journey of life, and it is very important to value those mistakes because in time it will ultimately shape our success. I talk a lot about time and how it's a huge factor in living a peaceful life. If I know I have an average of 70 years on earth, why would I waste any percentage of that time holding grudges? Why would I waste any of that precious time thinking of what I want to do? And would I waste any percentage of that time not focusing on my goal? Biological aging is one type of way we learn. As we age, we're always learning, from conception to birth to seeing, eating, creeping, crawling, walking. You get the gist, all right? This type of learning is in our DNA. We are programmed to want to learn, even as we move and grow. Unless there's a biological issue, of course, and then even at that, I'm sure you've seen people with no hands or legs move around and even drive around or have kids, and they do other complex stuff with ease after a lot of practice. Formal education is another way we learn. If I want to know more about the ancient practices, let's say the monks, I'm sure there's a class I can take to be educated on that topic. If you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a lawyer, an engineer, and many others, there are curriculums to follow in a school setting or maybe in an online setting nowadays with professors and teachers, checking in and following your progress as needed. And when you're done with this type of education, usually you get a certificate of completion or degree or diploma, which you can use to work and solve other people's problems. Taking risks is another way we learn. This one is mainly for like entrepreneurs, businesses, big corporations, and maybe small ones too. If they have the resources, they can take calculated risks on their businesses that can either propel them forward or, less likely ruin them. There's that saying, if you never try, you will never succeed. Or, maybe you haven't heard that one before. I just made that one up. If we don't take risks and fail or fall sometimes, how can we learn? How can we win? If you never shoot the ball, how will it ever get in the basket? It's not magic, people. If you don't eat the right foods and exercise, how will you lose the weight? Another way we learn is through our own mistakes and from the mistakes of others. Let me paint a picture for you. You see a pothole as you're driving home, right? It doesn't appear out of the blue. It doesn't appear magically on the road. It starts with just a crack, depending on, what they used to make the road in the first place. And then over time, it gets bigger. Now, when a driver that's not paying attention falls into that pothole, does it make sense for another driver to fall into it? Especially the one that's right behind him? The way we learn from our mistakes is by us paying attention to situations and the people around us. There's a Yoruba adage that says, "Eshin waju ni ẹ̀yin máa ń wò fi sáré," something like that. I'm trying to translate it. All the horses in the back are looking at the one in front of them. That's what they're gauging, like, I need to beat that one, I need to beat that one. So that's learning. If someone makes a mistake and we know about it, it doesn't make any sense to fall into that same mistake or make that same mistake again. Then no learning is taking place. You get what I'm trying to say? All right, so back to the physical pothole. If a car falls into a pothole in front of you, it is very important for you, one, not to fall into that same pothole. So what are you going to do? You're going to swerve carefully. You can go over the pothole. You can try to even avoid the road altogether. Find another route, right? Those are smart ways of handling the pothole situation. The others we can learn from in this situation are those of the older generation. The generation of today and even our youth today think they know everything, right? Well, newsflash, I was there before. I don't know everything. I admit it, all right? So you better admit it to yourself early as well. You will learn important lessons if you do that. Don't pretend you know it. Don't fake it till you make it. Ask questions from your parents. Yes, your parents, not outsiders that don't know you, your aunts, your uncles, your grandparents. Poke into their experiences. Ask about their past, their failures, so you don't fall into that same mistakes, that same pothole. Their mistakes, you learn greatly and save yourself a lot of precious time that you need for yourself. All right? We don't have plenty. The last way I will talk about that we learn from is our experiences. Someone I know just made a very big mistake recently. He made a business deal that ended up making him lose a lot of money, and all he had to do was, to negotiate for a better deal, and he would have made some profits. But guess who learned a lesson now? Guess who will negotiate a better deal if another opportunity presents itself? It is very important to know exactly what a mistake is to you personally, because if you don't even know that you just made a mistake, isn't that the worst of all? Now, does this mean the 5 ways of learning I talked about are the only ways to learn? No, of course not. Some learn from pain, some learn from disappointments, heartbreaks, and many more. Please, let's hear from you. Are there any other type of ways you have learned from before? Please share your experience. Don't hesitate to comment in the section below. Thank you very much for staying with me. Let's stop giving ourselves high blood pressure for no reason as we live our lives. God willing, we are on this earth for an average of 75 to 80 years. Let's not waste any of that precious time not learning on matters that don't help us positively in some way. You have a decision to make. If not now, maybe later. The ball of learning is in your court. Ask questions if you have any. Like this video by giving it a thumbs up so that I can make more of them. You can also follow me on Instagram at Laraddiji. Subscribe to my channel. You don't want to miss the sizzling topics to come. Hover on the red hearts right there. Yep, just click subscribe. It's free. Make sure your notification bell is activated. And please, let's love our neighbors as ourselves. And remember to rest in peace. We all need to be living in peace. You'll see me in my next one. Stay blessed. Bye.